All right, good morning, folks. My name is Courtney. I'm the education programmer with BCMPHA. I'm very excited to be here with you folks this morning and happy that everyone is able to join us. Um, I will pass the mic over really quickly to Matt, who will lead you and the rest of the group through the presentation this morning. But I am here if you have any tech problems or concerns. I will do my introduction that the session is being recorded. We will send a recording out to everyone who's been registered, as well as the PowerPoint slides and any other resources that are mentioned. So you can take notes, but don't feel like you have to aggressively take down all of the slides and memorize things. We will send out as many resources as we can to folks and folks who weren't able to make it either. So welcome, and if you have any questions, I am here to answer them. But otherwise, I will pass it over to Matt.
Great. Thank you, Courtney, and thanks everybody for joining today. We have an amazing turnout, so really appreciate you taking the time. And to start with, of course, let's start with a land acknowledgement. So I want to take the opportunity to acknowledge that we live, work, and gather today on the unceded traditional territories of, I'll just say, many First Nations, because we don't know where all of you are calling in from yet. And I'm calling in from near Coquitlam, Katzie, Kwantlen, and Semiahmoo Nations at the moment. And wherever you're joining us from, welcome. But I like to put a little bit of I suppose a bit of a personal spin on this because I find it's a bit more interesting. So as a land acknowledgement and a personal story, this was beside Musqueam First Nation Reserve in what is now Southwest Vancouver. I'm not sure how it is now, but back in the 1990s, I went to elementary school at Southlands Elementary, a couple blocks away. And at that time, leadership and families of our classmates from Musqueam would host a smoked salmon barbecue on the Southland School field, which was absolutely amazing. So they introduced us to their traditions in a really open and generous way. And there's something so fundamental about sharing food that's harvested locally with your neighbors. And thinking back on those fish caught in the Fraser River, a short walk from where we were on that evening, it's really like a human scale thing to me. I think of those smells, those connections, and I feel that's really important as we become more immersed in modern society. I mentioned to Courtney before this, I'm not a huge technology person, so I appreciate your help with this presentation, but it's just an example. I want to say thank you to Musqueam First Nation, helping share their values, those experiences, and I'll make an effort to remember those moments in my daily decisions and actions as well. So thank you again. Next slide. Okay, so we have a fairly packed agenda today. I'll start out with a quick introduction from FortisBC. I'll hand off to Aboriginal Housing Management Association, AHMA. They'll provide an introduction, navigate their available services and funding pathways. FortisBC will then present about the Social Housing Retrofit Support Program, providing background on that. We call it SHRSP. So we use a lot of acronyms, but I think SHRSP is less of a mouthful. FortisBC then will introduce the heating system optimization offer, and that is a new rebate that we think is something that could be of value to you. And then FortisBC's steps for nonprofit housing providers. And we'll hand over to BC MPHA, so their asset management introduction to Chris and Maggie, and then followed up with a question and answer. So we have a pretty large group today. So we ask that if possible, please leave questions until the end, but we understand that sometimes there's a burning question and it's really relevant in the moment. So if so, you can feel free to jump in if you would like. Next slide. Okay, so we'll just kind of do a little handoff here. So yeah, I'm Matt Hoover from FortisBC. I'm a program specialist in conservation and energy management. And the primary program I work on is called Social Housing Retrofit Support Program, SHRSP. Sagnik?
Hello everyone, I'm Sagnik Sarkar. I'm a technical solutions manager at Energy Solutions at FortisBC, and I'll hand over to Chris.
Hi everyone. Yes, I'm Christopher. I work with the Asset Management Department at BC Nonprofit Housing Association. I'm one of the Fortis Energy Specialists with Maggie, and I will pass it on to Maggie to introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Maggie. I'm also one of Fortis Energy Specialists at BCMPHA. I will briefly introduce our services and a couple of project examples that we supported. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah Freeland. I'm the Manager of Engagement and Technical Services at the Aboriginal Housing Management Association, and I'll pass it over to my colleague, Nick, who has joined us today.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Nicholas James, Energy Program Advisor at SHRSP. I'll pass it to Shahed.
I think Shahed is running late today, so we can just introduce her a little bit later on. Back to you, Matt. Oh, no, back to me. Hi, everyone. So I wanted to create a slide here just to remind folks about our cultural safety framework that we practice at AMA and strive to integrate into all our engagement with our members. So this presentation will be made accessible to folks both through the recording and by sharing in the slides. Please use the chat if you need any additional support. We do want to encourage engagement, so we have a dedicated time at the end for questions and a bit of discussions. But again, if you have a pressing question, please either throw it in the chat or raise your Zoom hand and unmute yourself. We'd love to hear from you. This presentation aims to share knowledge in a way that empowers self-determination. We recognize that knowledge is power, and everyone here is committed to improving access to information for all of the nonprofit housing providers that we serve. Thank you. Next slide. I wanted to introduce the Asset Strategies team at AMA. We have several folks that work in our department that support members through portfolio planning, development planning, capital renewals, maintenance planning, and other technical supports. We can help you along your journey from gathering building condition data to planning for your building and then taking action through capital projects. And you're welcome to reach out to anyone on the AMA team to connect with our support services. Next slide, please. So at AMA, we like to promote a asset care pathway. This is just a roadmap to taking care of or stewarding your assets, your buildings and infrastructure. So in the beginning, it's important to gather data, and we do that by commissioning building condition assessments and a variety of studies, undertaking hazard risk and resilience analysis, and working with partners to support energy benchmarking. Once we've gathered all the data, we move into the planning phase where we support portfolio analysis, maintenance planning, and capital planning for individual buildings. And when determined necessary, we move into the action phase where we're able to support societies with either repairing, renewing, redeveloping, or disposing of their buildings. Next slide, please. So at the moment, there's quite a diverse landscape of funding available for energy retrofit projects. And this slide is a snapshot of the complexity of the funding programs here. I'm not going to go through all of them in detail. The point here is to understand that there is an opportunity to engage in energy retrofit projects right now because of all the different funding programs that are available. Let's go to the next slide, please. Often, our societies are in a situation where they need to stack funding from multiple programs to make their retrofit projects financially feasible. We've created a funding guide to help navigate and learn more about the different funding programs, and you can access it through the QR code on the screen. Both AMA and BC&PHA are here to help you navigate the funding programs and figure out the best way to stack multiple programs together to make your project financially feasible. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us to support you on your funding journey. Next slide, please. AMA and BC&PHA are both participants in the BC Retrofit Accelerator supported by the Zero Emissions Innovation Center. This supplies support for retrofitting buildings across different segments of the residential and commercial building market. Next slide, please. We provide a number of supports, including portfolio energy use analysis and benchmarking, opportunity assessments, capital planning, funding and financing support, and one-on-one coaching and project management support. You can contact either myself or Edward Beckett through our email addresses listed at the bottom of this slide, and I'll throw those in the chat in a few minutes. Next slide, please. I'll pass it over to Maggie. Oh no, sorry, Matt. Are you gonna walk us through the poll?
Sounds good. Thanks, Sarah. So yeah, let's kind of take another step back now and get to know you, all of everybody calling in today, a little bit better. If you don't mind, the poll has now popped up. Please let us know where you're joining us from today. All right, excellent. So, I mean, as expected, we have a large group of people calling from the Lower Mainland, but yeah, a number of folks calling from interior BC, then some from Vancouver Island, Northern BC, and we have an other. I'm very curious if they want to put it in the chat where they're calling from today. But yeah, thank you very much. This gives us an idea. I think it does reflect where we tend to see interest in our programs, and they are available throughout BC as long as you're a FortisBC customer for gas or for electric. Next slide. Okay, so this gives you a little bit of a baseline or sort of a foundation of where we're coming from when we have these incentive programs. So it's a background on our goal at FortisBC and our role of the SHRSP program. So Fortis works with sector partners like BCMPHA, AUMA, to understand the overall energy needs of social housing providers such as yourselves and the barriers that may be faced. So FortisBC is helping to lead BC's clean energy transformation by identifying and promoting innovative technologies. We're also continuing to increase investment in conservation and energy efficiency programs, which is where the SHRSP program originates. So it is to help support you when you're retrofitting your building stock. And by increasing investment in energy efficiency programs for homes, businesses, industry, we can help customers like yourself save energy and reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Within SHRSP, one of the ways we can work towards this goal, the provincial goal of 80% emissions reductions by 2050, would be through making building envelope improvements or supporting the switch to more energy efficient heating equipment. And today we'll also touch on newer measures which are based around the maintenance and optimization of your existing equipment. Next slide. Okay, so this is, as you can see, FortisBC is investing across the province to promote energy efficiency. Real dollars are going into these programs. We support municipalities, residents, and businesses through offering a variety of direct and indirect resources and incentive programs, including programs specific to social housing providers and low-income individuals. So looking to the future, we believe we can leverage the strengths of both gas and electric systems, of which we provide both, together to lower GHG emissions and improve energy efficiency. And that's one of the ways we can work together to achieve those climate goals. So today's session focuses on offers available to you within SHRSP and highlights that heating system optimization offer. But we mentioned we have feedback we get from AUMA, we have feedback we get from BCMPHA. Your feedback is also super valuable to us. So if you have feedback, either at the end of the meeting or after the meeting, we would be excited to hear it. Next slide. So what is SHRSP? So we have standalone measures. So sometimes folks come to us, they know what they want, they're just looking for a rebate or an incentive. SHRSP is more like one program. It's a big umbrella, and within it, housing providers like yourselves and charities can access funding and support to save energy. So it's focused on multi-unit residential buildings. You need 9 units or more. And we do have other programs if it's single-family homes, for example, but SHRSP is for multi-unit residential buildings. And it's been in the market since 2018. So we offer a variety of gas and electric conservation measures. You may know that this past summer, BC Hydro launched their own standalone program. Just wanted to confirm that FortisBC is taking the full operation of SHRSP moving forward. So if you have any existing projects that are in the queue, nothing changes with those. And if you're looking to apply, it'll be directly with us. So we've had over 575 housing providers participate in the program to date, and our purpose is working to help you save energy and costs, reduce those GHG emissions, and optimize the function of your building. Next slide. Okay, so quiz number 2. Have you participated in SHRSP in the past? I'm curious if anybody has. Okay. Is it the result showing right now? I think so. So this is actually kind of impressive. I'm seeing 9 organizations that have participated in SHRSP in the past, 16 that have not. So I was actually expecting a little bit more hadn't. So that's impressive. And then 4 are unsure, which I think goes back to some of the slides that Sarah showed. There are so many different funding pathways, even within FortisBC. There are so many different little ways to navigate to get incentives. So I'm not surprised at all. Okay, here we go. This is the results, as you can see. Okay, excellent. So next slide. Okay, so what is SHRSP? What are the basics of how SHRSP works? And there are 3 main areas. So it's 3 streams is what we call them. So you can enter in for an energy study. So if you don't know anything about where you would like to start, you have a building, for example, that needs some updates. We have up to $8,000 for an energy study. That would be conducted by a consultant, and then up to $8,000 worth of funding towards that. In addition, we have a new piece of technology, the gas absorption heat pump, and we've seen more uptake recently in this measure. There's up to $10,000 for a feasibility study for gas absorption heat pump, or GAP, as we call it. The second stream would be the implementation support stream. So we know that a lot of these projects are very challenging to implement. So to support you with that, this is unique to SHRSP. We have up to $11,000, and that would be towards that design, management, figuring out specifications for equipment, requests for proposals, contracting, and documentation as well, because documentation to be paid these rebates is obviously important, and to make sure your projects are installed in the manner that you're expecting. And then stream 3 would be the rebates. So that we say the basic rebates for energy conservation measures, we call them ECMs. So those rebates would be paid out. That is the final stream. Access to rebates can be not only gas, but also electric. And the point of this slide essentially is you can enter into any of these streams that you would like to. So it really depends on where you are in your project journey. So you might want to start from the beginning, or maybe you already know exactly what you're installing. It qualifies, and you just want to enter in stream 3. Next slide. This is just a bit of a different way to visualize it. So engineering consultants, as well as BCMPHA and AMA's energy specialists, they basically can help you to help guide you through the energy study and selection of those types of measures and what would work best for your building. So our colleagues at BCMPHA will speak more to this later, but I wanted to emphasize all of these resources, and AMA and BCMPHA are extremely valuable. So they're a big part of this whole process. They can help you identify what works best for you. They can help you apply. They can help you with processing and documentation all throughout your energy retrofit journey. And the whole point of this is that you have support. So as you navigate through, whether it's an electrification pathway or keeping both fuel sources, electricity or gas, the important thing to remember is that help is there. It's not a complex program to enroll in and participate in, and the energy specialists, as well as our key account manager, Mel Tugati, who's also on the call, and we'll introduce him later. They can help you find ways to save money, reduce emissions, and maintain building functions. Next slide.
Matt, there's a couple questions in the chat. I wonder if you want to pause and take those.
For sure.
One is from Stacy. She asks if we can enter into all of the streams from the beginning.
Yes, absolutely. So if you enter in stream 1, you are entering in all the streams. So no problem. You can enter stream 1, that'll lead to stream 2 and stream 3 if you were to pursue those installations. So some folks come in, get the energy study done, and things change, right? Like you're not obligated to complete an install, but we do like to see that, and more and more we are seeing that go through from stage 1 to stage 2 to stage 3. Some organizations will do stage 1 straight to stage 3. It's really flexible.
Thanks, Matt. The other question is about eligibility. This individual wants to know if they could apply to the program for a transition housing unit on reserve, which I assume would be a single family home style building.
Single family homes would fall under a different program, but we will definitely have something, or I would say we should most likely have something that can help them. If they want to email, we'll have contacts later in the presentation and just reach out to us. We'd be more than happy to direct them to our folks on some of those teams and get them set up in terms of what's available for rebates or for support.
Thanks, Matt.
Okay, so this is getting back to the fact that this program is for multi-unit residential buildings, and then we have a wide range of types of incentives available for the energy conservation measures. So these could be building envelope, so that's like your siding, windows, roof insulation, gas absorption heat pumps, as we mentioned, that feasibility study funding. Dual fuel rooftop units, we've seen a huge amount of popularity recently in this new measure that's a hybrid heating measure. Controls and optimizations, so different pieces of technology that can be added to get the most out of your equipment. Heating system optimization, which Sagnik will discuss soon. And then basic things like pipe insulation. That's a fairly affordable and easy to implement measure. Electric heat pumps. So this would be in our shared service territory, such as the Okanagan. We do have electric measures, such as electric heat pumps, lighting, LED lighting, and more. Okay. And next slide, please. All right, I would like to hand this off to Sagnik now, and go ahead, Sagnik.
Thanks, Matt. And I'll start my presentation just with the question to everyone. What is your existing space heating equipment? If you could put any option, if you don't know, please feel free to mark unsure. Okay, it's a mix of everything. Yeah, my favorite people are the ones who are unsure because I will be able to talk to you directly because else there's not much I can speak to for the others, right? Okay, thank you. Courtney, if you could move to the next slide, please. Thank you. So just for reference, what we have on the screen here on the leftmost side is a natural gas furnace. I'll be speaking a little bit about these equipments before moving on to the describing the heating system optimization offer. So a furnace is heating usually a single family unit or some smaller MURBs by providing air through a ducting system. Next on top, we have a boiler system, hydronic boiler. So they provide heating to your unit either by radiant units or by providing heating coils through fan coil units in your apartments. On the right, we have a domestic hot water heater. So mind you, this is not a space heating equipment, but we have just put it here just to show it because even for domestic hot water, natural gas-fired domestic hot water system, we do have rebates under the heating system optimization. And at the bottom, which is quite a common sight on most apartment buildings or any commercial buildings, are the gas-fired rooftop units. Also, in short, we call them RTUs. So on the next slide, we have this heating system optimization offer. So the reason why I'm here to speak to you about is that what Sarah just mentioned in her previous slides, that you have multiple options to get the funding. One of them is Social Housing Retrofit Support Program, which Matt described. Under SHRSP, there are various different measures like gas absorption heat pump, and one of them is heating system optimization offer, which is the only thing which I'm going to focus on. And the reason is that it is an offer where it is applicable for an existing system and it is being used for buildings which for a low cost measure. So it is very easy to get into this, utilize this offer. And I'm just here to speak on the technical part of it. So please do not think that it is a very deep technical talk. It's just that just to let you know that there are things what you could work on. So there won't be a quiz on this, I promise. So the goal of heating system optimization offer is to provide energy efficiency options that will optimize the performance and maintain resilience of an existing heating system or equipment. We are providing incentives to support our customers in reducing their energy bills and increasing the comfort of their tenants. Courtney, if you could click once. Yeah, the main categories of the heating system optimization offer are we divided into 4 broad categories. Those are equipment tune-ups, boiler optimization by adding some new components to an existing boiler, heat recovery ventilators, and hydronic additives. Let me go over each one of them individually. So in the next slide, we have the tune-ups. So an equipment tune-up is like giving your car a regular checkup and maintenance. Just as your car mechanic ensures that the engine is running smoothly, an equipment tune-up involves inspecting, cleaning, and adjusting various parts of a machine, in this case, your furnace or boiler, and prevent it from any unforeseen breakdown. They also help you improve the efficiency and extends the life of the equipment. The tune-up offer is available for furnaces and rooftop units, domestic hot water boilers, and space heating boilers. In the next slide, we'll see that, just say for example, a furnace is there. A tune-up will include cleaning the filters, the burners to ensure they are dust and debris free, and for checking any worn out parts. Adjusting settings to make sure everything is running at optimum levels. Just think of it as a way to keep your equipment healthy and running efficiently. Just like a body needs good exercise to keep you in healthy and tip-top shape. Just a few eligibility requirements that need to be fulfilled when you're utilizing this offer is that the tune-up has to be done by an approved technician. It does not have to be a FortisBC TAN member. It can be any technical safety BC approved technician. While that technician is completing that tune-up, they have to fill up a checklist available on our website, which we can provide you later. And it has to be submitted to us along with the application. Some few other eligibility criteria are that the equipment must be 3 years old and it should not have undergone any tune-up in the past 3 years. It doesn't make sense to do it every year, right? So we provide a gap of at least 3 years and only after 3 years you can apply for this rebate again. In the next slide, we will see the boiler optimization measures. The purpose of boiler optimization measures, especially for hydronic systems, is to improve your existing hot water system. I'll be using the term boiler and hot water heater interchangeably because most MURBs do not use steam, mostly using hot water for circulating and hydronic heating. So the offers what we have are parallel positioning. Parallel positioning is something like cooking on a gas stove where you're adjusting the flame. In parallel positioning, what you're doing is you're adjusting the air as well. By air, I mean oxygen. So whenever you're increasing or decreasing the boiler burning rate, the air is getting adjusted as well, improving the efficiency. Next, we have economizer, non-condensing. An economizer is just like a heat exchanger. Just imagine when your car engine gets hot, the heat is usually wasted on your car's bonnet or from the exhaust. A non-condensing economizer captures some of this exhaust gas heat to warm up the air going inside the furnace. Remember, the furnace needs air to burn the natural gas, right? So your air is getting preheated, which means that your efficiency goes up. So if you install this equipment, we provide incentives for that. Matt will go over the incentives, the amount of incentives in his slides later. Next is economizer condensing. For economizer condensing, what happens is it's the same as non-condensing. It's just that you're extracting more heat from the exhaust gas of the furnace such that the steam inside the exhaust gas is condensed to water. And that's how you're extracting even more heat. These are more expensive equipment, and that's why the incentive is more as well. Next is TDS control. TDS is total dissolved solid. It's just like checking the salt level in your soup. If there's too much salt in your soup, you won't like the soup, right? Same with the boiler. Usually hot water heaters or boilers do not like any salt in them. So if you install a TDS monitor, which ensures the salt level inside, which monitors the TDS level inside your boiler, and it is being frequently blown down. So what it means is that the water in the boiler system is being drained and fresh water is being added to it. So this keeps the boiler healthy. Next is O2 control. So oxygen control is like adjusting the oxygen, but by checking the flue gas. So what is happening here is if you have excess oxygen in your flue gas, which means that you are wasting heat, which means that the burner is not combusting the natural gas efficiently. So flue gas monitor at the exhaust of the furnace, it measures, or the boiler, it measures the oxygen level and reduces or increases the oxygen proportionally to maintain optimum combustion. And finally, this oxygen control with parallel positioning, it combines the benefits of both of these measures into one single measure, and again, the incentive is proportionally higher. The eligibility criteria is that the equipment must use natural gas only. And the boiler or furnace can be used for process load, sanitization, or even space heating needs. It is not to be installed as a backup or standby or secondary use. I'll address the question. I think I saw a question here.
Yeah, there's a question from Antonia saying, does adding a new boiler count but changing no components other than that?
Unfortunately, since 2024, we are not allowed to incentivize new gas equipment which is less than 100% efficient So we cannot provide incentives on a new boiler. So yeah, sorry about that. Moving on to the next slide are the heat and energy recovery ventilators. So what with the new building regulations, envelopes are tighter than ever before. So before, even though you might think that your house is airtight, there is still some air leaking inside, and this used to provide some form of ventilation. But some houses undergo retrofits, which improve the envelope, which makes the building more airtight, which reduces the exchange of air between your house and the outside. Uh, and this leads to increase in carbon dioxide concentration inside the house. People feel suffocated, and they open their windows. When people open their windows, yes, you're getting fresh air, but you're also losing precious heat. You're increasing your utility bills. Here's where an energy recovery ventilator or a heat recovery ventilator comes in. What they do is they bring in outside air through a fan and put it into your house, but they're also extracting some air from your house and putting it outside. And there's a heat exchanger in between. So what is happening is your outside air is getting warmed up before coming into your house, and this preheating reduces your utility bill. So we provide incentives on heat recovery ventilators and energy recovery ventilators, depending on the type what is being used. So the eligibility criteria is buildings with single zone packaged HVAC unit with an existing integrated economizer. So you all must already have an economizer. Only then we'll be able to provide you incentive for an energy recovery ventilator. And again, the new energy recovery ventilator or HRV must meet program requirements, which is efficiency of 65% or above. Moving to the next slide. Hydronic additives. So hydronic additives is something that you add a chemical to your hydronic system, which is basically a closed loop boiler. What it does is increases the efficiency of the heat transfer of your water by making the water capable to absorb more heat from the boiler. Just to give a daily life example, it would be imagine you have a pot of water on the stove and you're trying to boil it. If the pot has a lot of mineral buildup or scales at the bottom, it takes longer to heat the water because the heat cannot be transferred easily. Now, the hydronic additives acts both as a cleaning agent and a better heat transfer fluid. So this keeps your pot clean, and it is acting as a better material for transferring the heat. So again, this increases the efficiency of the system. The eligibility criteria is that the buildings must be equipped with a hydronic heating system, like a boiler or mostly boiler, I would say. This is not for the domestic hot water purpose. This is just for hydronic space heating system. And it should be from a qualified product list, which is available on our website. Moving on to the next slide. Which heating system optimization measure would you be most interested in? And what is your primary goal for your building? You could choose from the options. Thanks for clarifying that, Sarah. HSOs, heating system optimization. Interesting. Yeah. It's great to have improved energy efficiency on an existing equipment instead of investing in a new furnace or boiler when you can already improve your system. So yeah, and as I said, you don't have to remember what I said all this time, like for the past 15 or 20 odd minutes. Chris and Maggie, who will be speaking about it a little bit later, they'll be able to walk you through all the steps about how to get these measures. And I'll hand it over back to Matt.
You're muted there, Matt.
There we go. I just want to go through these next slides quite quickly because I know we're running a little short on time. We have a lot of content today and make sure we have time for Chris and Maggie. So I'll breeze through these. This is just to give you a quick look at the website. So if you go on the heating system optimization rebate page, you'll see drop-down lists. There will be some details on the types of rebates. And then most importantly, you can always reach out to us with questions. Next slide. This is the path that you would take. So if you're interested in applying to SHRSP, for example, you would contact either BCMPHA, AMA, or CAM, that's Key Account Manager Mel, who we'll introduce in a second. You can hire your contractor, Technical Safety BC license, as Sagnik mentioned, or Trade Ally Network, that's TAN, FortisBC's list. They would visit site, complete the routine maintenance, get you that improved performance or efficiency, longevity, and then all the assistance is available to help ensure you get that rebate paid. Next slide. This is just a really quick example. Let's say you had 2 boilers in a multi-unit residential building. In total, they have 1 million BTU. So the rebate for a tune-up would be $1 per 1,000 BTU, and then it's up to 75% of project costs. So the basic rebate would be $1,000, but if the contractor only invoiced you $1,000 for the work, the rebate would be $750, 75%. But if they invoiced you $2,000, the rebate would be $1,000, for example. Next slide. Just to reiterate, you can enter social housing retrofit support through any of the 3 streams, the energy study, the implementation support, or straight to the rebates on energy conservation measures. We have a whole slew of different types of measures, and these are always evolving, so we may have new measures coming out soon. Please keep your eye on our website or speak to contacts at any of these organizations, and they can let you know if we have new types of rebates that come out as well that might be of interest. Next slide. This is Mel Tucati. So Mel, our key account manager, is on the call today. He may help field some questions later as well. You may have worked with him in the past, but excellent guy, a ton of knowledge, and here's his contact as well. If you would like it, we will be sharing this presentation after, should you like to reach out to Mel as well with any questions. And yeah, I will now hand it off to BC MPHA.
Thank you very much, Matt, Sarah, and Sagnik, everyone presenting so far. It's been very informative, even just as one of the asset management specialists on the team. But I suppose, yes, we, as you'll see, some familiar faces, I'm hoping, to most people in this. This is just our asset management team. We have specialists in different areas. So Courtney, actually, if you could just pass on to the next one. Yes, so these are our AM services. We effectively provide a holistic service for every element of your building, from just very basic gathering and collecting of your utility data right through to actually walking with you through the sort of the SHRSP studies, the implementation support, and the installation of the energy conservation measures. We, as mentioned, yes, we have specialists in different selections of our services, and effectively, if any of these interest you, just reach out to any one of our staff members, and we will be able to link you to specific services that are specific set specialists. Sorry. If I can go to the next one, please. Specifically for myself and for Maggie, we are the Fortis Energy specialists, as mentioned. Our whole team acts as energy specialists for the sector. We work directly with Matt, with SAGNIC, with Mail, to link our member societies and to the associated rebates and to ultimately the energy conservation measures. So if there's nothing that you remember from this presentation today, which I hope is not the case, it's effectively reach out to any one of us. We provide services and we act as the center point between Fortis and you as the members. Just as a bit of information that what we as the energy specialists do. For myself and Maggie specifically, we would carry out energy audits, site visits, retrofit coaching, rebates and incentive support, and ultimately energy benchmarking. These will all provide you with an understanding of your building, including a high-level assessment of everything within the building that consumes energy. So if we could just go on to the next one, please. Yes, so myself, Maggie, and other members of our asset management team would complete an L1 energy report. This, as mentioned, is a very high-level assessment of all energy consuming elements of the building, including makeup air units, HVAC, your domestic hot water, space heating, right down to things as simple as your faucets and your shower heads or your lighting. We will then distill this into a report which we provide to our members, and this identifies areas of which to upgrade the energy conservation towards energy conservation measures, and gives you a full assessment of where the building's at in terms of areas which can be upgraded. I suppose where we specifically link best with Matt and with Mel and with SAGNIC and Fortis is our support for the SHRSP studies, which if I can bring to the next one, please. So yes, this is where we provide our strongest link between Fortis and our members. As mentioned by Matt, the SHRSP study is a detailed assessment, of your building, and it provides specific areas of energy conservation, including implementation cost, installation costs, CO2 reduction, payback. So there's a more detailed breakdown of your building and the energy conservation measures related to it. On our side of things, in terms of BCMPHA, we act as I mentioned, the center point in terms of application support, project management, and including the coordination of invoicing and payments. This just makes sure that the project stays on course while there's so many different elements moving between contractors, engineers, subcontractors, and our members who are the building operators. I suppose then, I just want to pass on to Maggie, who is going to give some more information to do with the case studies and further services that we provide. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Since Sarah from AMA and Chris introduced a list of services that we offer, I would like to just briefly mention some of the projects that we have supported in the Lower Mainland last year. So the building existing domestic hot water system includes 2 A.R. Smith domestic hot water heaters with 199,000 BTU rated and 119 gallons of storage tank in their mechanical room. So the existing domestic hot water system wasn't operating properly, so the domestic hot waters were replaced and added gas absorption heat pump on the rooftop to improve the system efficiency of the domestic hot water system. So Fortis rebate for this project was 100% of the cost of feasibility study for up to $20,000. And since the study costed the society for $16,500, the study was fully funded. And additionally, the equipment rebate was 75% of the total project cost for up to $200,000. And yeah, Fortis rebate was $199,500 of the project cost. So the numbers may have changed, so we just have to, yeah, double check with us for the eligibility. The benefit of installing the gas absorption heat pump for the domestic hot water system has increased the system efficiency for domestic hot water production. It also has benefits of reusing the existing gas supply, as well as potentially reducing energy consumption and GHG emissions reduction. If you could, next slide, please. Thank you. So the next slide is about pilot opportunity fundings. So our energy team receives exciting pilot funding opportunities from Fortis and other funders from time to time. So we are working with Fortis innovation team on a few gas absorption heat pump plus model projects. So being member with BCMPHA, our member societies benefit from the expertise of dedicated energy specialists that Chris mentioned, all the other services. Through our on-site visits and energy reporting that we provide, we have a good understanding of each building and building conditions. So we reach out to our societies if there are any like new funding opportunities come up and when the buildings are eligible to apply. So last month, for example, our energy specialists reach out to our member societies that they are supporting regarding the heating system optimization rebate program, which Sagnik mentioned earlier, through our individual societies that we work. So yeah, if you like to learn more about the pilot opportunities are currently offered by FortisBC, please visit their website and to see if there's any available funding at this time. Or you can also reach out to BCMPHA to learn about funding opportunities. Okay, next slide. So lastly, we also work closely with our data analytics team for MMB reasons. So for the post-retrofit projects. So this is just an example of post-retrofit graph report for one of our Lower Mainland projects. So the retrofit was from August 2023. So the existing space heating and domestic hot water heating was replaced with high efficiency boiler and tankless water heater. The first graph, I don't know if you can see it clearly, but it just shows the comparison between the measured energy consumption of the building after the efficiency upgrade to the predicted baseline, what the energy consumption would have been before installation. So the second graph shows the CUSUM or cumulative sum. This graph is basically just calculating the differences between the actual and the expected energy use and then adding these differences over time. So as you can see here, the graph is showing the downward slope for this project. That means the downward slope means indicating that there are significant energy savings from 2024, 2025. If the energy consumption went up, that will show as like upward graph, upward slope graph, versus if there's no energy savings, then it would have just show flat line. So yeah, in addition, our data team also provide monthly anomaly reports with buildings that we benchmarked on Energy Star Portfolio Manager, or we call it ESPM. This service allows building managers to track if there's any unexpected changes to the building energy consumption. And also our data team is helping City of Vancouver reporting as well if it's in the City of Vancouver region. So yeah, that's it for me today. And our energy team just ensures that you understand and capitalize all the rebate programs that are available to you. And we're also here to walk you through every stage of the project progress, and also happy to advise you if there's any ways that we can reduce the risk with the retrofit. And I will pass it back on to Matt. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Maggie. Okay, well, we're at that point, the question and answer period. If you would like, you can also scan that QR code to get to the SHRP website, and we have contacts listed below here. But yeah, please let us know if you have any questions. Well,
I do.
oh, perfect. Stacy.
Can we apply for all of these funding and studies and whatnot for multiple housing sites? Like I manage 7 affordable housing sites. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
No problem. As long as they're unique buildings.
They
Each
are.
building has its own
Yeah.
gas meter, it's its own, we call it a
Yes,
premise,
absolutely.
but
Yeah.
yeah, it would be like on its own lot, that type of thing. So no
They
problem.
are. Yeah. They're all spread all over between Vernon and Enderby and whatnot. So, okay.
Perfect.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think, hi everyone, Mel Tagatti, Key Account Manager. One thing, Stacy, is for any of your buildings to apply into either the SHRP program or the other prescriptive rebate programs that FortisBC has to offer, they need to be identified as a commercial building, rate 2 or above. Anything below that, which is a rate 1, would fall under our residential homes, and those are more of single family detached dwellings, and they have different programs and not specific to energy studies. So the energy studies are meant for the commercial buildings itself, part 9 or part 3 buildings, just so we're clear on that and transparent.
Yeah, that is important because I don't know, because some of the units that I manage, they're all owned by us, Turning Points, but they're 3 of them that I'm thinking of under my portfolio are houses that are suited into like 6 or 7 suites.
Right. And
So
that's
it
perfectly
is,
fine. We can
yeah,
identify that in our own billing system. All you have
gotcha.
to do is just provide us the actual premise or building address, and we
Yes,
can verify if it is either a residential category or a commercial category.
very good. Okay, thank you for that clarity.
Daisy, if you would like to reach out to one of the BC Nonprofit Housing Association, one of our staff, that's exactly what we provide as well. We can align you specifically with the eligible rebates and incentives that Fortis provide,
Beautiful.
and we can work with you on that.
Beautiful. I will do that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any other questions? And don't be shy. And if you don't want to go on camera, you don't have to as well. So
Yeah, you can also pop them in the chat and I can read them out to you as well if you're nervous now.
This is Alex from Impact Engineering. I'm curious about your dual fuel rebate program, if it applies to multi-unit residential properties and which aren't considered social housing properties.
Yeah, I can speak to that. So everything we're speaking about today is obviously meant for the clients of either BC Housing, BC Nonprofit Housing Association, affordable housing, private healthcare, etc. But the actual program itself for the dual fuel rooftop units are available for the commercial buildings.
Thank you so much.
And you can reach out to me directly and I can assist you with that.
Then the other thing to add there is often the rebates are higher for these social housing projects than they would be in the typical commercial projects. So that's a nice little benefit to this side of things.
Any other questions, folks?
Sorry, just a random question in terms of these are set up for MURBs, but I know under social housing we have things like group homes. Do you guys anticipate, because it's the way the accounts are set up, it kind of makes it so they're not eligible because of who's paying for the utilities? I'm just wondering if you're looking at filling that gap with future funding.
I would say each time, Sarah, it can be done, as you know, it's like kind of a bit of a custom assessment sometimes. So at times, even if the accounts are held by individuals, sometimes we can look at something like a bulk application through one of our programs. It just really depends where it fits or what type of energy conservation measure they're looking at. So I would say we're always looking to evolve things. I do think that this is a good area as well. For the time being, yeah, definitely feel free to just apply and we'll just look at them on a case-by-case basis and see what kind of help we can provide.
Great, thanks.
If I can add to Matt's comment. So a lot of the homes or premises are owned either by BC Housing or other organizations. But if the individual home, like let's say it's Amica or AMA, and they own those homes, the actual rebate will go to that particular organization. So it all depends on who is the owner of that premise. Some of them will fall under the organization of BC Housing, and some may not. It doesn't matter as long as the owner is the recipient of the equipment that is being installed on the premise. That owner will receive the rebate.
Right. Just to clarify, I mean like single family homes that have been converted into group homes where that's not necessarily individual units, but they might have multiple kitchens and then like bedrooms for like supportive housing. And the society would be paying the utility there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then the society would receive the rebate.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions, folks?
Courtney, I have one. Are you sharing the slide?
No, I stopped sharing the slide, but you want me to pop it back up?
Oh, no, I mean, to the
yes. Yeah,
participants.
so the session has been recorded, and the recordings will go out as well as the slides shared today will go out to everyone who registered.
Okay,
Absolutely.
great. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, I'm not seeing any other questions coming in. Thank you so much to everyone who joined us. Thank you to Matt and Sarah and Sagnik and Chris and Maggie and Mel and everyone else who was able to present and share information with us today. If folks have questions, we have all the contact information. Please never be too shy to reach out. I also popped into the chat just our calendar and some other upcoming online events which may be of interest to you. And we'll send off the recording and the slides in a couple of days once I do all of my magical editing powers to them. Awesome. Thanks, folks. We'll always be the last ones to leave as well if there's any lingering questions. So enjoy your day.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Thanks,
you so
everyone.
much. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you.